All right, now it's time to transition to our G5 moneyline underdog parlay. Calabrese, I'll have you go first here. Who is your dog of the week?
All right, for my G5 money line upset here in week 12, I'm going with ULL plus 160. That's the Louisiana Raging Cajuns on the road against Liberty. No respect for the Sun Belt. And I think this is interesting because Liberty just no-showed their Super Bowl, at least Hugh Freeze's Super Bowl, playing against Ole Miss. The offense couldn't get out of the starting blocks. And that's what is the real concern for me for anyone on the Flames on this one. Yes, Malik Willis is probably going to play his way into the conversation for first-round NFL draft pick. He's got all the physical tools. But this year, they've had more than their fair share of poor offensive performances. Only 14 points against that Ole Miss defense, 21 against Syracuse, 21 against Troy. It shows to me that they're just not as dynamic and reliable as they were last year. And when you look at ULL, what have they done since that setback against Texas in the opener? Well, they've won every game since then. They murdered App State, beat them 41-13. And under Mr. Scared Money Don't Make No Money, they played well against top teams really across the last 2 years. And that's what I'm looking for here because there's a motivational factor. They're already locked in for the Sun Belt Conference Championship game. But this is a spot to keep the winning streak going, to get that national notoriety. A win like this could push them, higher in terms of, the AP rankings, the college football rankings. Can they get that done in this spot? I think they can. And really it's predicated on them breaking that Liberty run defense. It's actually pretty decent. But Chris Smith and Montrell Johnson are the ones to do it. Montrell Johnson in particular, 6 rushing touchdowns in his last 5 games. I think he's giving them that second option at running back, which they had last year with Trey Regis and Elijah Mitchell. They're able to go back and forth and really break teams down in the fourth quarter. It's one of the reasons why they're so good in close games, always winning it in the fourth and having that confidence. So I'll go ahead with the Raging Cajuns plus 160 on the money line in this spot.
Yeah, see, I feel like I'm a little nervous about this play just because, kind of like you said, I feel like Louisiana has been unimpressive and I don't fully believe in them. The other thing that makes me a little bit nervous about Louisiana is they are 7-0 in conference play, have clinched their division for basically a month at this point. Second in the conference is Texas State at 2-4. The fact that the way they've run away from that division is astonishing. They've also played a lot of bad teams given that record. So I guess it makes me a little nervous because I feel like, what do they have to play for necessarily? They've already have the division wrapped up. They could be looking ahead to the conference championship already. But I will agree with you in the sense that, something I know I'm already getting pre-mad about this offseason is, and we already saw it last year kind of, is I think anyone who talks about Malik Willis as a first-round pick is an absolute moron. Like, they don't watch college football. Like, I hate these NFL analysts and draft experts that you can tell have never watched an actual college football game. They just watch the highlight passes of these dudes ripping bombs over, FCS schools like Trey Lance. But like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Malik Willis couldn't beat out Bo Nix, and now he's going to be a first-round quarterback. Get out of here with that. So I don't hate it because Liberty has kind of been disappointing as well. So I guess, you're taking 2 disappointing teams a little bit. I guess at least Louisiana's winning their game. So yeah, I don't hate it totally. I'm going to go with a team that's starting to heat up a little bit here. I'm going to take Old Dominion. I love me some Ricky Ronnie from his Penn State days. So, maybe I'm a little biased, but maybe not. Who cares? They've won 3 in a row. And really the change started when they switched quarterbacks. They started with DJ Mack earlier in the year. He just really struggled. They got pumped by Liberty. They lost to Wake Forest. They lost to Buffalo by 1 in that crazy game where, they blew the lead late. And then their last 4 games since Wolf has started 4 games. His first start was against Western Kentucky. I mean, you're not going to just run with the Zap Dog right out the gate. So obviously they lost that one. But then their next 3 games, they beat Louisiana Tech. They crushed FIU. They just beat Florida Atlantic 30-16 last week in a really impressive game for Old Dominion. Hayden Wolf's thrown at least 280 yards in 3 of his 4 starts, and he gives them a much more balanced attack. Now teams have to respect the pass because Wolf is able to do enough through the arm that complements their running game, which is actually 3rd in the conference in rushing. Blake Watson has been a beast. He has over 100 yards in 5 straight games now. And Old Dominion's defense has actually been pretty good. They're 4th in the conference in total defense. They're 40th in the country in defensive success rate, 36th against the run. They're 4th against rushing explosiveness. They're 7th in the entire country in success rate on passing down. So they have that success. They have that success early stopping the run. And then when they get into passing downs, that's when they thrive. Like I said, 7th in the country in success rate. They are 20th at creating havoc. They dial up the pressure really well. Middle Tennessee, on the other hand, is 115th at preventing havoc. The Middle Tennessee offense has really gone into a shell. They're 110th in success rate, 117th in EPA per play. Bailey Hockman was the starting quarterback at the beginning of the year. He's hurt. Then Chase Cunningham comes in. He's hurt. Now they're starting true freshman Nick Vattiato, and he's got just 4 touchdowns and 5 interceptions this year. So I just think, Old Dominion's playing really well right now. So I'm going to keep riding with him. So give me Ricky Ronnie in the Monarchs at plus 155 over Middle Tennessee.